Hello there. So here on my YouTube channel, I encourage people to read books. And the one frequent question I get all the time is, where do I get the time to read books? And the simple and straight answer is, I don't get the time. There isn't time in a 24-hour day that is actually just going to be available for me to read my books. Whether or not you're a mother, an employee, you've got children, you've got a husband, you've got a day job, you're a student, there is no time. So this is what I would like to share today, the tips and tricks that I use so that I reach my reading goals. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So let's get right into them. So the first one is that you should just read the books that you enjoy. There's no point in torturing yourself reading books that you don't enjoy. So we enjoy different genres. I enjoy nonfiction books. So you may like science fiction, you may like mystery, romance, fantasy, crime. Then stick to that so that you actually keep up, you stay motivated, you enjoy it. The other tip that I can give you is that you start with small books. I mean, even when you start on an exercise regime, you don't start with the biggest weights or start by running the marathon. And that's the same with reading. You cannot start with that big 600-page blockbuster and try and read that to the end as one of your first few books or your first one. It's never going to happen. Burdening yourself with starting a book like this, you probably are not going to finish, and then you won't enjoy reading. But if you grab one like this, it's so portable. You can go anywhere with it and you can read it within days. You feel much more accomplished when you finish a book. And so you start to feel like you're doing something, you're reaching your goal. The other way to keep up with your reading is to buy your next book before your current one finishes. This works like a charm for me. I am never without a book. This reduces the gaps between my reading, because what happens is the longer you stay, the more rusty you become and the more you don't feel like reading anymore. So I frequent bookstores just like any other shop in the mall. So do not run away from the bookstore. It's still equally fashionable. The next one is to take advantage of your commute times and your waiting times. There's so much time wasted while we're traveling to and from work or on a journey that I think over time, in a space of a month, this could run to tens of hours. This could actually mean 1 or 2 books that you complete within a month, provided you are driven. You're on a bus, you're on the train, or you are in a taxi, in Uber, someone else is driving you. Then you can definitely take care of your reading. Because by commute, I do not mean that you walk and read, because that is definitely dangerous. Please do not do that. Do not drive and read either. Explore digital and audiobooks. Amazon Kindle is brilliant. I'm with Amazon Kindle myself, and so I get some samples where I can just whet my appetite about a book. Maybe I've seen it being recommended by others and then I go and get it. And if you're on the premium edition, then you can read the entire book. There's also Audible, there's Chapbooks. There's so many of these digital platforms where you can get audiobooks as well as digital books. Read some on your phone, when instead of scrolling up and down your timeline or your Instagram reels, you could just be looking at your book and reading it right on your phone. For some people who get bored easily, that actually creates access to the same book on multiple platforms. The next tip and trick is that you utilize reading opportunities at home. Reading a book before sleep actually provides much better quality sleep for me, because then I remove screen time. And I think it goes to that scientific research that says the blue light from our mobile devices, or maybe even from TV screens, I think affects our ability to fall asleep quickly. And so this works for me. 30 or so minutes before sleeping, take your book and read it. The other opportunity that I also utilize is bathroom time. And I know there's a lot of us out there, because in many people's bathrooms, there could be magazines, and you can grab one and sit for a good 20 minutes sometimes. And that is time you could be reading. I make use of that time myself. The next tip is to find reading company and communities. I am on Goodreads, and I try to give ratings for all the books that I've read. I try to give reviews as well. As you engage with other community members, you stay encouraged. I'm also on Twitter, and I follow fellow readers as well as some authors of books that I've read. Next is that you relax and make reading fun. Read wherever you are, however you want to read. So you could get in the bath, grab your glass of wine and read your book. Or you go to the restaurant, sit, listening to your music either on earphones or on overhead music. You can go to the beach while you're on holiday, and read your book. It's not supposed to be a chore at all. Whatever works for you, make reading fun. You can read while standing up, you can read while sitting down, while lying down. There is no universal code of conduct for reading books, while you're an adult. Make it fun. The most important of all the tips and tricks I've given is to be consistent. When you have found your rhythm, then stick to that. I know that buying the next book before my current one is finished has worked for me, and I'm sticking with that. You need to stay consistent. So this is the most important of all the fancy tips and tricks you could ever get. You see, it's very hard once you lose momentum, once you lose motivation with anything in life, that you would come back and be at the same position that you were in. It's harder. Do not allow that to happen. If you decide that you're going to start reading, no matter what happens, you will find the time and you will read. When you have read and you have completed your very first book, the last tip and trick I want to give is that you congratulate yourself, you reward yourself. What keeps me going and making sure that I finish my books is just that anticipation of knowing that I'm going to reward myself, because the next time you're looking forward to that reward and you keep on. So this is what actually works for me. It's as simple as that. You just find that it becomes fun, it becomes what you do all the time. And for me, reading is not an effort. That's exactly why I encourage everyone to read, and that's why I've started this YouTube channel, is to just impart the knowledge that I get from all the books that I read, and also just let everyone know that we can all be readers. So these are my tried and tested. These will be helpful to you because they've been helpful to me for so many years. If you have enjoyed them, then do subscribe to my channel so that you stay tuned to my content, especially my book reviews and my book recommendations. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video, my next book review. So cheers for now.